What's up, everybody? We're out here shooting commercials on the deck out here on Holmes Street. So we're basically here, little vlog style video. Ross came out here to Kansas City, moved his family out here to learn financial freedom. And I put a fire hose in his mouth and I said, hey dude, welcome to real estate here. So today is a magical day for you, really. I really believe the pressure's relieved for you. What happened today?
Finally got funded on the sale of my house in Fort Worth.
So when you know the economy's about ready to crash, which I've been predicting for the last year, and I said on my video, we'll link to it below here. If you got a HELOC right now, draw it out completely. Max it. Take it out before they lock you out, okay? Take it out. A lot of guys know what I'm talking about from 2008, 2009, 2010. Don't be surprised if you got this big bunch of money that you got access to, but you haven't touched it and it goes away. There's a couple videos I said why the real estate economy is gonna crash. I said all they've gotta do is jack up interest rates, right? And so Ross had a lot of pride in his house, spent a ton of money on that house, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell us about the house that you just sold.
Well, the house I just sold, I mean, obviously I was too emotionally attached to it. You and I talked about that, right, Troy?
Right,
you know, I mean,
right.
My kids were born there, you know, I mean, a lot of really impactful things in my family happened there. And so it was a place that was really hard to let go. And what happened was, you know, we got into a situation, you and I were able to come to an agreement, and I wanted to come out here and learn from you. And
right.
It was time to put the house on the market, and it definitely was not the best time to do such. So,
well, I'd argue that you actually got out at the best time.
Yeah, I did. It turned out being the best time. I had to swallow my pride a little bit, but you know what? I mean, closing is closing, and I'm happy to be moving forward.
What did you sell the house for?
We ended up getting $737,000 for it.
$737,000. Now, when I ran the comps, and I told you to lower your price and get out, you were by far the highest priced house in the neighborhood.
My house was absolutely gutted to the studs and completely remodeled. So it was a horrible situation as far as real estate investing goes, because they always tell you to buy the worst house in the best neighborhood. Well, I had the best house in the neighborhood. So
good neighborhood though, right?
Great neighborhood, great neighborhood. People have been there for 40 years, 50 years.
Right. And so I saw the house. It's a beautiful house. You had me look at it. You're like, man, you were definitely being tough. You were like, yo, $799, I don't want to drop it. She says I need to be this. I looked at it, I was like, you need to be there. You need to drop that price and get out of this market. And then you got one offer.
That was it.
The first offer, they were wrangling with you. Tell me how that situation went.
What had happened is you know, we had a situation where they wanted to be contingent on the sale of their house. So what we ended up having to do is, you know, we dropped the price. They kind of lowballed us at first. We came back and gave them another number. And
so you dropped it to $749.
Yeah, I did.
And what did they come in at?
They came in at like
7.25, right?
Yeah, it was 7.25.
Right.
And so what had happened at that point is no, we weren't going to accept that. So we ended up actually getting at originally $745 under contract. They did their inspection. They found some issues in the roof.
Yep.
We gave them, you know, $7,000 for that, which was more than fair.
Right.
And something had happened in the meantime with a glass door breaking. So we, you know, gave them some money to cover those expenses as well. And so, you know, we ended up at this $737 mark. So
sweet. And so now we just got off a phone call with one of the things I'm teaching my students. And if you're interested in learning about real estate and financial freedom, which is why Ross moved his whole family out here, if you're interested in that, you know, definitely click the link below, schedule a call with Ross. Absolutely. And he'll tell you about how you can get started investing in real estate. I own a lot of properties. I own over 300 right now, cash flowing $180,000 a month. And I started with absolutely nothing. But we just had a call because a lot of our students, maybe just like you, they don't have any investment property. Maybe they have their own personal house. Maybe they're working a job and they've been stocking away, just like yourself, for the last 42 years. You've been stocking away money. You got your 401k. You got a bunch of money in that. You just found about what?
Just found the fact that I'm actually going to be able to move that into a self-directed IRA to be able to use that money to purchase real estate here in Kansas City. So that's pretty exciting.
So we've got a bunch of money to play with. Now, this is the cool thing. When the people are scared, this is the time to fire.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's pretty predictable to figure out like, oh my gosh, everybody, and I hate this damn truck over here, okay? Just to let you know, this truck over here is about ready to do whatever the hell he wants, because I'm not.
But I think we, not to interrupt, Troy, but I think we learned in 2020, you watched oil literally drop to $0. You watched what the stock market was doing in 2020. Listen, I mean, we are on the verge of something that could be worse than 08. right now. And the fact of the matter is that people who have money to spend are going to spend it in real estate, and they're going to be on the other end of this a lot better off than people who took chances in stock.
Right, and that's the one thing that I did learn when I was in that downturn, is that no matter what the economy is, people are buying houses. They're buying them on the downturn, they're buying them on the upturn, and you just sold your house, and I would argue we're at the crest of that wave.
Yeah.
And so, you know, your strategy has to change. Like if you're flipping right now and you're like, man, I'm already looking at the flips I got going on. I'm like, okay, this one might be a rental, you know, and I've already planned for that. You've heard me plan for that. Prairie Village,
No question.
maybe a rental. Right? I don't even know right now. Of course, we're going to put it up for sale. We're going to continue the whole process, but we plan with an exit strategy. If you go into one property with just one exit strategy, I'm going to sell it, you're chasing that market down. Like if that was your property, were you prepared to rent that property?
I mean, absolutely. I didn't really have a choice, you know? And the thing about it too is people also have to consider with rising interest rates, listen, less people, the pool for people to be able to afford homes is shrinking. So what does that mean? For real estate investors that have rental property, they are going to make hay in times like this.
Right. And I think it's important to note that, like, if you're worried about getting started investing and you're like, man, it's not the best time, this is absolutely the best time. Why? Because whether it was the top of the market, I'd still tell you the same thing. It's the best time because waiting never made anybody money. Waiting never did anything for anybody. I mean, if you're a tree and you're waiting for it to grow, yes, that's a good idea. You got to wait for it to grow. But action begates you being successful in real estate. Ross took major action here. I've been putting a fire hose at his face with all sorts of stuff. He's learning a ton out here. And I'll tell you what, now, this is the reason we really did this video. Now it's actually fun. We get to go play with your money.
No question.
And so the goal is by next November to have 10 rental properties, right?
Absolutely, that's the goal.
All right, so let's mark this date. Right now it's October 25th, 2022. We're standing on this deck. We may not remember this conversation. We're standing on this deck in Kansas City, Missouri, right? We are on Home Street. Where will we be next November?
1044 Main.
1044 Main Street, which has been a tough deal for me. You've seen me getting that one done.
Yeah.
You tried to help me get a loan. He denied me too. Everybody's denied me on that deal. But here's the deal, guys. If you're looking to change your life, it takes action. You have to take action. We've got a free Facebook group. You got to go to Millionaire Mentorship, Real Estate Investing. That's free. You can get on there. We do a lot of free social medias, but that's just going to confuse you. I think you did a lot of that stuff. It's just going to confuse you. What kind of clarity have you seen with me since I've been in this business? Is real estate easy?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Troy, the best analogy you said is I'm like a duck. Looks all calm on top of the water, but under the water, my legs are working. And
Yep.
that's exactly how this business is, you
Right.
know, and it takes cunning mentorship and direction to be able to master this.
Right.
Because you could go out there and set fire to all the money you want to, but I'll tell you, that's all you're doing is setting fire to it.
Right, and that's 100% true. And for guys who have been playing it safe and you've been investing in the stock market, you're like, oh man, you know, I'm up, I'm down. What are you up? You're looking at a freaking graph. Take your losses. Go put your money to work for you. You know, the reason I got into the self-directed IRA is I've actually got my mom to become a real estate investor at the age of almost 70 years old. She's working on her third property right now. I was hitting her up for 1044 Main Street because I didn't know what I was gonna do. And I was like, if I can get 3 people with $500,000 to be my partners on this deal, then I can get the deal done based on my loan that I have right now. But the reality is you are the person who has to make the change. You are the person who has to make the decision. You are the person like Ross. Ross is, dude, I got a lot of pressure on me with him up here. I gotta have this guy succeed. If this guy doesn't succeed by November, it's because he didn't take action, but he took action. He came up here. He's already showed me he's got what it takes by taking that type of action.
And listen, man, I was working in a career that I was super successful at, worked for a lot of really good companies. And the bottom line is at 42 years old, man, I decided I needed something more.
Right.
Honestly. And you and I connected, and it was just one of those things where, I mean, my kids are 7 years old. My wife was like, where we're going? So, I mean, it was one of those things where you wake up one day and you literally say, I need something different for my life.
Right.
And that's exactly why we're here.
I think it's not one day. I think it's a buildup of things, right?
Could be.
And by the way, guys, comment below how short am I or how tall is he? Okay, because I am, I'll just tell you, I'm 6.5 inches. So I'm almost 6'1". At the end of this video, we'll let you know how tall he is. But Ross is a competitive golfer. He played competitive golf. He's running my sales organization. That's something that we're building out. But here's the thing. He's watching me build out a coaching program. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm just learning. I know how to teach people how to invest in real estate, but I don't know how to build a coaching program. So what have I done? I spent a lot of money on coaches, a lot of money. I'm spending like $4,000 on one coach per month. I'm spending this amount of money on this coach per month. And then eventually, you know, you get to where you need to do and you need to hire another coach to get you to the next level, right? And so you have to invest in yourself is the point. What he did is actually smart. You move and get a job with somebody who knows what the hell they're doing. You put your time in, or you spend time and you get that value from these guys. Now, based on the guys, we got about roughly 20 people in the coaching program right now. What's the feedback been? You went to our first mastermind group.
Listen, I'm telling you, as soon as all of these people were in the same room, man, it was just such a cohesive group, right? I mean, everybody's pulling at the same rope. Literally, I'm not just saying this, everybody's rooting for each other.
Right.
Everybody cheers each other's successes, and it's awesome. Like, most of these guys came in and they didn't know anything.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
And the other ones are just going down that rabbit hole of YouTube. They're like, I don't even know where to get started.
Right.
And I've got a lot vested in the guys in particular that I brought in because I believe in them so much and watching them have these success. You know, when Troy just talks about I didn't know what the hell I was doing or anything else, he did, because you know what? These guys believe in him and he's showing them the way and they've been successful because of him. So
yeah, what I'm saying is, meaning that this is my first time doing a coaching program. I obviously did my research. And the funny thing is we got you doing a little bit of research right now. We found out that the competition's weak. They don't follow up. I hired a #1 sales guy in the world. How much am I on you about follow up?
a lot.
A lot.
Absolutely.
I like to win, man. We're coming after you. You know who you are, guys. You know who you are. We're coming after you. We're not gonna quit, dude. Like, my goal is to help more people get out of Wall Street, get onto Main Street, change your trajectory, take control of your finances, and start investing in real estate. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this video with a friend. Let's see where Ross is at. 10 properties by November. Comment below. How tall are you, Ross?
6'7".
6'7". They call him Vaquero Blanco. Share this video with a friend. Talk to you in the next one. Peace.